So, Grand Theft Auto 6 was announced the other day, and it looks really good. But what if I told you there was something else that was announced yesterday that looks just as good, if not possibly even better? And no, I'm not talking about another standalone game. I'm not even talking about some official Grand Theft Auto DLC. I am, of course, talking about a Grand Theft Auto 5 modification. And, okay, it may not be better than Grand Theft Auto 6, but it is starting to make me question whether Rockstar is even going to be able to keep up with their own modding community when it comes to just making their game better. And naturally, I am talking about the 4.0 update for NoPixel, which, quite frankly, is one of the most mind-blowingly feature-complete modifications that is starting to rival a completely standalone game. Now, if you don't know what NoPixel is, it's basically a combination, a complete overhaul modification in addition to a role-play server. Now, the interesting thing about NoPixel is that it is utilizing the 5M framework. And again, if you don't know what 5M is, it is essentially a modification platform that was built for Grand Theft Auto 5. Now, the irony of this is that 5M originally was declared to be illegal by Rockstar. They tried suing them and very quickly found out that they can't sue them because the way that 5M is created is somewhat similar to like jailbreaking an iPhone, which again, the courts ruled is completely legal as long as you do it in the right ways and you're not actually pirating software, which 5M wasn't. Now, funnily enough, when Rockstar found out that they couldn't sue 5M out of existence, a couple of months ago, they announced that they, in fact, are going to acquire 5M entirely. I have no idea how that happened or how much money they must have offered the guys at 5M to simultaneously both forget about the fact that Rockstar tried to sue them out of existence and also give up their baby for Rockstar to take complete control of. But projects like NoPixel and how completely insane they are when it comes to just depth and quality make me wonder what's going to happen to the future of 5M and if maybe Grand Theft Auto 6 is also going to incorporate something like NoPixel into its game. Maybe not into the base game itself, but again, if Rockstar has acquired 5M and might possibly make some 5M equivalent a baseline system within Grand Theft Auto 6, you could easily see a NoPixel server in Grand Theft Auto 6. But I guess one of the main questions now is, since Rockstar has completely bought out 5M and owns that entire modding framework, which I assume they're going to integrate into Grand Theft Auto 6, 6M, or whatever they're going to call it, does that mean they're also going to start slowly taking over all of the mod projects within that framework as well? Because you all may not know this, but the NoPixel modification makes a lot of money. Like, a lot of money. Similar to Gary's Mod and Arma, 5M servers are allowed to monetize themselves and give perks to donators and stuff like that. And a lot of those servers, especially servers like NoPixel, are making insane cash. Insane. And I know for a fact that Rockstar, man, when they smell money, they're going to start honing in on that fast. And I would say that NoPixel might end up being one of the biggest threats to Rockstar having complete control over the entire Grand Theft Auto player base, because NoPixel is actually really good. It is probably one of the best Grand Theft Auto experiences that you can have, but ironically, it wasn't made by Rockstar, and I can only assume that that really annoys the hell out of Rockstar. But I also think that the announcement of NoPixel 4.0 brings up another really interesting point. As you guys know, everybody is freaking out over the day before, and specifically how awful it has turned out to be. And the day before was offering all of these features and all of these promises for things that were going to be in the game that now, since they put the game out, are clearly just not in the game, and maybe they never even had any intention to actually deliver on those promises. But the irony is that you have some of these modification projects, like NoPixel, that are being created not as standalone games, but as merely modifications, doing everything that some of these other games that have turned out to be scams were claiming to be able to do. And in some cases, these modifications aren't just doing everything that many other games claim to do and fail to accomplish. They're actually going way further and adding in way more stuff than I think anybody realizes is even possible in a game. And, just for fun, let's just do a full overview of everything that the NoPixel development team has added to Grand Theft Auto 5 in this modification, because it's a lot of stuff, and some of these systems are like AAA tier features that I'm not even sure if these things would be available in Grand Theft Auto 6, which is insane to me that they're accomplishing things that I'm not even sure if a AAA studio is capable of. Now, naturally, in this modification, you're going to get some of the basic stuff that I would assume you would expect from any high-quality modification. You're going to have a complete graphical overhaul, high-definition textures, updated lighting and particle effects, as well as character customization systems and overhauled vehicle mechanics. But some of the cooler stuff that, again, I'm not sure if a AAA game is even going to be able to pull off, is some of the more simulation-based features that they're adding. And when I talk about this, I'm talking about like all of the role-play mechanics that you typically see a lot of these servers go really in-depth towards, that for some reason I just don't see in standard AAA games, even though, people would love this stuff. People would buy games with this stuff in it, but AAA studios just conveniently ignore these systems that they could probably add into their games, but they just don't. And some of those things that really impressed me the most were the medical systems, where you can actually assess somebody's injuries based on the body part. I mean, the only other place that I've seen stuff like this is in Arma for the medical modifications that the community has made. Again, not official developers implementing those features, but the community has made some of these medical systems that are really, really high-end. And seeing that stuff in Grand Theft Auto 5 really blows my mind and makes me think about how in-depth you can get with some of those features. I mean, in some of these cases, I feel like these modifications are getting to a point where they're not just a game anymore. I mean, seriously, you could consider some of these things to be like a training tool. I mean, if you're getting to a point where you're literally role-playing to a degree that you're learning all of the procedures to go to a site and like treat an injury to this level of depth, I mean, at what point does that just stop being a game? And you're just going to play this, and then when you're done, you're just going to go and like sign up and be an EMT and pass all your exams because you've already learned all of like the base fundamentals of what you need to know in order to perform that job in real life. And I think that projects like this are kind of blurring the line as to what is a game and what is a full-blown simulator. But ultimately, the only thing that really matters is what you guys think. Are you more excited for Grand Theft Auto 6, or are you more excited for some of the updates for these modifications that are doing these incredible things that I'm not even sure are going to be possible to do in Grand Theft Auto 6? Now, regardless, I think we both know which of these two is going to be the more successful one. I mean, even if Grand Theft Auto 6 releases in a state of absolute shambles, it's still going to make hundreds of millions of dollars. But that's one of the reasons I want to make this video. If we have projects like Grand Theft Auto 6 that aren't meeting our expectations, or if we have projects like The Day Before that are coming out and not meeting expectations, but you have simultaneously these other modification projects that, okay, they're not standalone games, but they're doing maybe even more incredible things than a standalone game has even done, well, then which of those two should we be paying more attention to? Let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments. Either way, do you know anything more about NoPixel than I do? Let me know down in the comments. Do you know anything more about what Grand Theft Auto 6 might be adding that could be similar to some of these things? Let me know in the comments. And as always, if you enjoy videos like this, make sure you press that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.